So net metering 3.0, what has changed from NEM 2.0 to 3.0? So basically the utilities that are included are Southern California Edison, Pacific Gas and Electric, and San Diego Gas and Electric. Everything behind the meter is the same, but export rates are no longer being compensated, right? So now the customer is going to be, the rate's going to be different every hour of every day of the year. So, these are the changes that happened. But what I want to emphasize today is don't worry about these changes anymore. The value is still here in California, in solar, in net metering 3.0. So let's put these changes behind us and move forward. So how do you present to a homeowner? Like I just said, you do not want to talk about the past. Don't want to talk about NEM 2.0 when you are talking to a homeowner. There's no point. You don't want to talk about how interest rates used to be. You want to talk about the value now and what we're getting now. So importance of the discovery call. So we are selling batteries in California now. So you really want to talk to the customer about if they are using a lot of their energy at night or during the day or a mix of both, because this is really going to help us size the system. So know the pros and cons versus a lease, loan, and cash. So this is all case-by-case basis, just like it was before. We really want to get to know the customer and find out what their goals are, so we can really sell them the right system for them. So, you want to keep it simple. You want to know how to sell these, or get with a tier 3 that knows how to sell each one of these and know how what your customer needs. So that has all changed, right? So what I personally do is I start with a cash with no backup. This is going to show the customer their true, the value that they're getting from their energy savings. And then I really explain that they are not getting backup. That's very important. And then I explain the backup and the cost difference and what that entails. And then I switch to loan versus lease based on their goals and needs. So like I said, nothing has changed here. The value is here. We just need to talk to our customer and find out what they need. So there are some value propositions that we still need to emphasize, like reduction in energy costs. These have not changed. Protection from rising energy costs, increased property value, tax credits, ROI analysis, so return on investment with your customer. It's always good, and Vision has that right there on the tool. And backup capabilities. So now the homeowner, we keep emphasizing the homeowner is going to have this backup power. So I have sold cash, I've sold leases and finance in this new environment. And I'm just going to show you a couple of examples so you can see that this is making sense. So this first customer was a cash customer with San Diego Gas and Electric. Their before solar bill was $350. Post solar bill is $35. They're seeing an ROI in 5 years. They're getting a Franklin full backup and $178,000 in savings. This is a no-brainer. Second deal, this was a finance deal. She didn't want to lease, but she wanted ownership, so we decided on a finance. Her before solar payment is $280, after $224, $93,000 in savings. Another no-brainer. Lease example, before solar was $276, after solar bill with a 0% escalator, so this is basically what it's going to be for 25 years, is $248. Backup battery with 25-year warranty and $49,000 in savings. So this customer just said yes, and now they're getting a cheaper monthly bill, a backup when the grid goes down, and they're actually saving money month to month with no debt. So great example. So what I'm showing you with these examples is that the value is here. What's blocking us right now from selling at NEM 3.0 is all up here. It's all mindset, right? So what happened to me when that change happened in December? I was part of the fight to keep NEM 2.0. I went to all the rallies, right? I went to the CPUC hearings and voiced my concern. I thought this was unfair. But then once that decision was made, I started thinking, why did this happen? Why, solar and renewables are the right thing, so what is the reason here? And I started thinking about how easy solar was getting in California, right? Everything was kind of staying the same. And when anything stays the same for too long, it actually ends up imploding because there is no evolution, and we need evolution in anything to start scaling. So, if everything stayed the same and, utility prices just kept going up, then there would be no drive for a manufacturer to come out with new product or no new systems to come out. So sometimes you need a disruption in that. And what this did is this caused a disruption in this industry. And as you can see, what's already happened in 3 months, right away, SolarEdge and Enphase came out with a no backup battery option. This great team at Powur put together vision. They got it out before NEM 3.0. We've been waiting for battery prices to come down for years. And in the last just 3 months, they came down 10 to 20%. So with this little disruption, we have already seen so much evolution in this industry, and we needed it. Right? So, there's some, I think Jim and Melissa and Irene, they're going on a rafting trip and they were telling me about it. And, it kind of got me thinking it's all the same, right? So picture you're on a boat, you're going down a river and you're hitting these rapids. And you get in those rapids for the first time, you don't know how to navigate it, but there's other people to kind of help you. You want to jump off the boat, you kind of feel uncomfortable. People are jumping off the boat, maybe you get stuck behind a rock. But you can get through those rapids and you're actually going to learn from that. And you're going to be flowing down the river very soon. And there's going to be other disruptions down the road, but every time we hit one of these, we're actually going to grow from them, right? And we're going to get better and better as each one of these rapids comes down river. And we're going to be helping people get through them as well, which is going to make us all grow as an industry. So I want to close by, kind of announcing that to help us all do this together, we put together an NEM 3.0 steering committee where we're going to help bring assets and trainings, and we're going to bring those to our California Market Spotlight meeting. So if anyone is selling in California, plans to sell in California, which everybody should be, or has teams in California, can you please take out your cell phones and let me see them? It's a quick activity. And then go to your calendar and go to next Wednesday, August 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific. And I want you to add California Market Spotlight meeting. And then now where it says repeat at the bottom of that calendar, put repeat weekly. So now we'll see you at all of those meetings. We are going to do this together, and we're going to bring you some great assets. So thank you so much.
Good brother. Fantastic job. You talked about when we were chatting before, and by the way, this is Mike's absolute first time on stage. And you handled it like a rock star, man. Give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Mike and I were talking, that's really where kind of anchors set in, right? We are stuck in our way of doing things, and it's time to pull those anchors up and listen to this great advice. And now you're going to hear from someone you heard from earlier live on stage, but she had the opportunity because she wasn't sure she's going to be here in person. She recorded a video for us to kind of go on top of and couple and piggyback, whatever, add compliments to what Mike just said, and you're going to hear more and more from other people here in just a few minutes. So let's play that video from Cynthia Avidres.
Hey everyone, wanted to pop in here and give you some tips and tricks on NEM 3.0. And so far I have about 11 or so sales in the NEM 3.0 market, and I'm seeing a lot of trends. First, a common question I get is, should I pitch lease or should I pitch loan? And I really think the answer is the same as it always has been. I think that we should share the pros and cons for each. And personally, it's always easier for me to work from a higher number and go lower. So I am finding that homeowners still are in favor of purchasing more than they are leasing, just because of what they've heard in the past, just because they hear the chatter that owning is better than leasing. So I always show ownership first. And if the numbers don't make sense, or they're not resonating with them, or they're not fitting into their goals, that is when I have the conversation about leasing and considering that. But so far, homeowners have been very accepting of the financing purchase. The second tip I want to give is never prejudge your homeowner. Never assume that they're not able to pay cash, because more and more people are paying cash for their solar system nowadays. Most of my sales lately have been cash buys for their solar systems. And so always ask the question if they are able to come up with those cash funds in order to get the best value for their solar system. The third thing I wanted to mention is the consumption graph. You guys, it is all about the consumption graph in NEM 3.0. when you are trying to figure out to undersize, to oversize, what offset, it really depends on the graph. And instead of plugging in the annual usage, make sure you're going back into solar revision and you're putting in the exact consumption monthly so you can get a very clear view of what their graph looks like. Because if you have a very large variance between winter and summer, and there's only 3 months that are this high, then you're probably going to want to do a lower offset than 100% and just cover those 8 months of the year where they're using a lot less. But if their summer is only about 1.5 times to 2 times that of winter, then your offset's probably going to be higher, about 130, 140%, where you can cover everything. And then you don't have to set that expectation for a monthly true up. So the other thing I want to point out is that not enough people understand on NEM 3.0 that we have monthly true ups now, meaning that if your solar system you're designing is not producing more than what they're using, they're going to pay a true up that month for any excess energy. So make sure we protect our solar industry, make sure we protect our company, make sure you are explaining and setting the proper expectation for those months that they are going to pay a true up for those months. I hope that was helpful. Those are a few tips that I have. Ultimately, have a good discovery process with your customer, ask a lot of questions, share the pros and cons for both. Let the homeowner decide loan or lease. Let the homeowner decide undersize or oversize. See what resonates best with them. Good luck out there. These big summer bills are coming. Let's go.